Dr. Stephanie Bathurst here, bringing you the thought of the day, where clients or potential clients can send in any clinical questions that they have, and I'm happy to answer them in short video clips. So today we're focusing on cognitive distortions. These are going to be the treatment protocols for any intrusive or ruminative thoughts. Intrusive or ruminative thoughts are thoughts that intrude, right? Thoughts that pop into your mind and kind of disrupt your emotional flow. Or thoughts that are cyclical, such as ruminative thoughts, that kind of just like keep on coming back, that consume a good part of your emotional and mental energy and create really intense negative emotions that are disruptive to your day in and day out of living. So cognitive distortions, there are 12 of them. They are really heavy in clinical jargon. A lot of clients don't remember them in entirety. So what I like to do is chunk them up into 4 key points that are much more manageable to use in kind of like an evaluative filter. So if you are able to remember these 4 key points as kind of a checklist, you can use these in times when you are feeling a really intense negative emotion and you look at the situation and realize, I'm feeling this way, but the situation doesn't really warrant it, so I don't really know why I'm feeling this way. That would be an appropriate time to use this checklist, because that is kind of a red flag that you may be thinking with an irrational skew. If the situation isn't warranting the emotion that you're feeling, it's likely because somehow a negative or irrational thought got into your mind and created an irrationally based emotion. So the way in which we heal that or resolve that irrationally based emotion is by creating a rationally based thought. But we can't do that until we identify what thought is irrational first. And the way in which we do that is by going through these 4 key points. So the first one is to remain fact-based. Go over all of the thoughts that are in your mind at that current moment and evaluate if any of them are assumption-based. If there are any that are assumption-based that have no factual evidence to support them, that may be what is causing the intense negative emotion. Our brain does not have the ability to differentiate what is real from what is deeply imagined. If I am sitting here planning for my test tomorrow, and in my mind, I am thinking, I'm definitely going to fail. I'm going to fail that test tomorrow. I'm definitely going to fail that test tomorrow. I'm creating this emotional experience as if I have already failed that test tomorrow, because my brain doesn't have the ability to separate what is real from what is deeply imagined. It all feels the same, right? Okay, so the second key point is avoid any statements that start with should have, could, would, must, any of that, because they're all past oriented. It doesn't serve you to be hyper-focused on the past. It's forever solidified. We can't do anything to change it. It's done. Okay, so changing the framing of that verbiage is very, very important. We want to eliminate any past-oriented statements and make it present-oriented. So take out all of that, I should have, I could have, I must have, I would have blank, right? And just make it present-oriented. I can. Yeah, sound good? Okay. The third is to avoid predicting the future. I just gave you an example of what that could be. And then the fourth is avoid absolute thinking. So I always, he never, this will forever be. Those are examples of absolute thinking. The finality to it tricks your brain and evokes a sense of hopelessness that isn't always real, right? So those are the 4 key points. Avoid assumption-based thinking and remain factually based. Avoid should have, must, would, could have statements that are past-oriented. Avoid predictions of the future and remain present-oriented. And then avoid absolute thinking and just kind of be realistic, right? Rather than finality based. So those are the 4 key points. Use them as an evaluation or a checklist to identify if a thought pattern is skewed. When you identify that one or more of them is present, change the framing of the sentence so that none of those 4 are actually present in the frame of the sentence anymore. That's what makes the sentence now a rational sentence, and that will alleviate either the intensity, so it's the severity, the duration, or the frequency of those negative emotional responses. If you attend to the thoughts, the emotions are going to follow, all right? So you will experience shifting of those emotions once you attend to and heal some of the irrational thoughts. So best of luck. Let me know if you're needing any other support or help, or if you have any other questions, send them my way, and I'm happy to continue on with the thought of the day. Thanks so much.